Here are 15 things I have learned from Alux. Number 1. Money soldier.
Money is your personal army. It should go out and bring back prisoners. Billionaire investor Kevin O'Leary kept pushing this metaphor, and now it's something we've incorporated into the way we think about money. Every dollar you have is your personal soldier. Every morning you send them out onto the battlefield. Some will die, some will conquer. Your goal is for more of them to return back home with prisoners. If you start thinking about your freedom soldiers, you'll begin to be a lot more careful of the troops you give away when someone asks to borrow some of your soldiers. Every time you give someone money, you run the risk of this person killing your soldiers and never seeing them again. Soldiers that would have served you well.
Number 2. The 10-10-10 rule.
This is another decision-making rule that works great. It's frequently used by people like Warren Buffett and other billionaire investors to figure out what to do. Basically, when stressing over something, use the 10-10-10 rule. How will I feel about this in 10 minutes, 10 months, and what about 10 years? After getting some perspective, you'll notice how very few things end up worth stressing over. A choice might feel good in the moment, but have negative effects over the medium or long term. The reverse is also possible. Maybe something will suck in the next 10 minutes, and even a bit afterward, but it will pay off in the long run. Any decision you have to make, run it by the rule of tens, and you'll start making better calls immediately.
Number 3. Set SMART goals.
The SMART acronym stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. What this means is when setting up a goal, you have to define it specifically. Set a way to measure the progress on it. Make sure it's realistic and attainable, and set a deadline to it so it doesn't get finished someday.
Number 4. Set a vision.
People who don't know where they want to go get swept up in the current and their lives are no longer theirs. Other people will choose for you who you are, what you do, what you like, whom you marry, what you do with your spare time, and more until there's nothing left of the person you once thought you were. If you want to be successful, you need a North Star. You need to have a target, a clear goal which all of your efforts are focused on.
Number 5. Self-image.
Investing in yourself means giving you access to the highest number of opportunities. To get there, you need to sacrifice the handstand keg chugs you and the boys did last summer that are all over the internet. We all judge people by their appearances. We can't help it, and your social media profiles are the new emperor's clothes. You're probably lying to yourself if you think it doesn't affect you. Clean up your Facebook, clean up your LinkedIn, do some press, and opportunities will start coming your way. Now, start taking better care of yourself, learn about fitness, about grooming, about personal hygiene, and the snowball will keep rolling downhill in your favor.
Number 6. Small details.
Too many people end up spending way too long on minor details that nobody is going to notice or care about. This is because they've lost sight of the bigger picture, and in some cases because they're too much of a perfectionist. Now, the key isn't necessarily to stop being a perfectionist. This depends on the task you're given. Imagine you're an aircraft engineer, and you're working on a safety feature of an airplane. This is a situation in which you do want to be a perfectionist, because the bigger picture tells you that if it's not perfect, the cost is going to be huge. The extra time you'll be spending working on getting it right is worth it. But now let's compare that with another scenario. Let's say you're preparing a PowerPoint for a work presentation. You know what you're going to say, but you end up spending hours looking for the right graphics for your slides, even though they aren't central to what you want to deliver. In this case, you should probably settle for the graphics you've got and move on to something more productive.
Number 7. Live like you're poor.
This is the wall that keeps the majority of people from actually becoming rich. It's something only rich people have figured out. Everybody else is stuck in the middle class, never understanding why they didn't make the leap into the wealthy class. Here's the secret to getting rich. The longer you live like you're poor when you don't have to, the richer you'll become. Take a moment and go through that again. The longer you live like you're poor when you don't have to, the richer you become. Self-control is what differentiates the real from the pretenders. Once you see that money coming in, you're tempted to start spending it, to indulge yourself in the rewards of your work. It makes sense, doesn't it? You worked hard for the past 5 years, and now you can finally afford a nicer house, a better car, better clothes, a better lifestyle as a whole. But this is what we call the middle-of-the-road trap. You're halfway into the race, you've come a long way, but unless you run the entire thing, you won't get the medal. You have to cross the finish line to get your award. This is how the middle class gets stuck in the middle class and usually drops down in time. They think they're safe. They're no longer hungry. They splurge. You see them flexing. Be very, very careful of this trap, for if you fall into it, you risk losing the majority of the things you've built. Self-control and discipline at this step will allow you to actually become rich instead of just looking like you're rich.
Number 8. Be a better you.
For your life to be more than what it is, you need to be more than what you are. We wanted to expand on the previous point because it's crucial to your future. We're not gonna sugarcoat it for you. There are tiers to life. There are experiences, places, people, events which you all will never be able to access with your current condition. Let me simplify it for you. Everybody wants to date a supermodel, but nobody wants to work hard enough to be in a position to date a supermodel. Everybody wants their partner to be amazing at everything, but they themselves are mediocre at best. Everyone wants to create incredible memories, but very few are willing to put in the effort to get there. The more you develop personally, the more doors open for you. And guess what? Behind those doors, there are other rooms you didn't even know existed. Life has this strange way to give us what we want, but people never ask for more. And that's what's meant when people say, invest in yourself. Use your time, money, and resources to develop, to grow, to experiment, to learn to become more than what you are. You first have to put in the work and then the awards will follow. It's not the other way around.
Number 9. Stop multitasking.
The multitasking concept refers to a person dealing with more than one task at the same time. Despite what you may think, multitasking is not that efficient and it doesn't save your time. On the contrary, multitasking will make you complete tasks in low quality and will actually slow you down. You also might miss out on some important details. When you multitask, your attention is divided between 2 or more tasks, which makes your brain switch fast between them instead of focusing on just one to complete it as fast and as well as you can. It takes you a few minutes to switch between assignments and start to concentrate again. Moreover, multitasking can take away your ability to think creatively because it takes up a lot of your temporary brain storage, so be careful when you do it.
Number 10. Earn more.
Not having enough money is seldom solved by cutting back. In the end, we get frustrated and end up with old spending habits once again. While it's never wise to spend above your means, the best way to have more money is to bring in more money. Perhaps this is through a raise, or a job move, or maybe a side hustle. Maybe your business has grown stagnant and needs a productivity boost. When your mind is open to the idea that the world is abundant and you just need to tap into bringing more money in, you'll start to open your mind to what you can do to bring in that extra income.
Number 11. You have to try to get.
If you don't ask, the answer is no. This point gets expanded to you miss every opportunity you don't go for. Here's why this rule is so important. In almost all cases, even if you don't get the answer you wanted, the default result is your current state. You're not losing anything but a bit of time, and considering your current reality, you've got plenty of that. In gambling terms, this is called a free roll, which translates to, although there's a small chance you get it, there's no downside to trying. Here's the real secret behind it. It's a numbers game. When we were starting out, everyone told us it's unlikely we'll ever make it because 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Our answer was simple. We'll just build 10 businesses. It didn't take 10 times, but what became Alux was our 4th try. You only need to get it right once and your life changes.
Number 12. Outsource tasks.
We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. Every successful person out there went 90 to 100% on their strengths. Anything else will guarantee your mediocrity. In order to do so, you need to find people who can free up time for you so you can focus on what you do best. Something to remember here, you'll never find anyone to work as hard as you do for your business. If you search for a clone of yourself, you'll keep on searching forever. Instead, find people who are willing to learn and are great at following instructions. Have them take care of repetitive tasks which you can systemize. Break each task down for them and have them do it over and over again. This part is called automation. It streamlines your production process, either through people or technology. Your goal should be to systemize and automate 80% of your entire business, with the remaining 20%, the creative part, being the strategy part, falling on your shoulders. If you're unable to bring in people to automate the process, you'll never grow. You'll always be trapped in a small rat wheel running until exhaustion just to keep the lights on. Don't be afraid to pay these people well. Take it out of your pay. You're not interested in it. Pay yourself enough to cover your living expenses. If you want to succeed, everything else must go toward making the business better.
Number 13, learn more.
Here's a very important distinction we have to make when it comes to learning. Learning for us is about acquiring knowledge that can be transformed into value in your life and in the lives of others. That's what learning is. Nobody cares if you know all the Pokemon or the 38th digit of pi, you dork. It's not valuable. Life is not a trivia show. Knowledge that doesn't have the potential to be manifested is not knowledge. It's trivia. Focus your learning on building a ladder for yourself to get out of this hole of mediocrity most of us begin our journeys in. Learn how to build each step and then follow through with the execution. If your parents built a ladder for you, then use it. If other people have documented how ladders are built, study them. We're all dealt different hands in this game of life. Maybe some holes are deeper than others, but the way out is almost always the same. Learn, build, escape, enjoy, teach others. If you're looking to make money, you need to learn how money is made. You need to practice making money until you get really good at it, in the same way you would learn to play guitar. Put enough time into it and at some point, you'll stop sounding like shit. Put some more time in and you'll even be good at it. Every skill in life follows this principle. First you learn, then you remove the L. If you're serious about changing your life, you need to start learning the fundamentals and then build on them. Lucky for you, there's a boatload of resources available for you to learn whatever your reality requires.
Number 14, your focus is your reality.
We couldn't be talking about the rules of success without mentioning one of the most important ones. Your focus determines your destiny. How do you spend your time? What are you doing every day? Toward what does your attention go? Be honest with yourself. Where is it really going? That's why your reality is the way. If you want your life to change, you first have to change yourself. For some reason, people want the change without making any changes. How is that supposed to work? You've probably heard that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Are you getting the results you want? If yes, good, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, you better reevaluate yourself, because the future is just around the corner and you, my friend, aren't ready for it. If you want to be successful, learn to focus your efforts in the right direction.
Number 15, save money.
Unless you're saving in the millions, moving up in wealth won't just happen from having money saved. It's what you do with it that determines if you turn it into wealth. Saved money, in other words, cash or liquidity, is good for two reasons. First, it acts like a safety net. If anything happens to your regular income, it's advisable to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. This will get you through until you can rally and earn again. The second value of cash is it gives you access to opportunities. If a solid investment property or business opportunity crops up, you can take it, and cash is king when negotiating a better price for yourself. Lock down the investment and begin building your wealth portfolio.
If you should know Alux, there is always a bonus for those who watch the channel's videos to the end. So here's your bonus. Return on self.
What's the return on yourself? The ROU. Nobody can make you rich. Nobody can make you fit. Nobody can make you smart. That's not them. It's you. It's the passion, the hunger, the desire you're channeling for change. You are the one generating the positive return on your life. The more valuable you are as an individual, the smarter, healthier, and more creative you are, the higher your ROU is. Because when all things come together, you are the one creating value. Invest money in yourself. Invest money in yourself so you no longer have to invest time. Use the return on you metric to measure your impact. If you've made it up to this point, we want to take this opportunity and